Hollywood loves shiny success stories, but it loves public takedowns even more. These 10 LGBTQ+ celebrities have been mocked, dragged, and labeled too much, too messy, too different. Some made real mistakes. Some were just being themselves. Tonight, we're not asking you to excuse them. We're asking you to look closer. Is canceling them really that simple? Watch to the end and choose your number. 1. Sam Smith, the body that refused to apologize. Sam Smith didn't start as a rule breaker. They were the quiet British vocalist who cried through ballads, won Grammys overnight, and became the safe gay celebrity straight Hollywood adored. Soft, polite, non-threatening, but the world didn't expect what came next. Sam stopped performing for approval and began performing for liberation. The shift was slow at first. A crop top, a glitter heel, a pronoun change. Then came the moment. Sam stepping onto the Brit Awards stage in that giant inflated black latex suit. A look critics called everything from a fashion nightmare to the end of masculinity. Overnight, Sam became a meme factory. People mocked their body, their gender, their voice, even their breathing. They weren't criticized for their art. They were punished for existing loudly. Then came the unholy era. Fire, leather, devils, drag queens. Conservative groups demanded the performance be banned. Some called Sam the enemy of Christianity. Others said they were queer-baiting, attention-seeking, or pushing an agenda. The cruelest comments came from people who once claimed to be fans. What people forget is that Sam was fighting their own body long before fighting the public. They spoke openly about dysphoria, about wishing they could disappear, about being told by labels to lose weight or lose your career. Imagine being one of the greatest voices of your generation and still being reduced to a punchline. But here's the twist. Sam didn't bow. They grew louder, bolder, happier, more themselves than ever. For every troll, there was a kid learning that softness can be strength and authenticity can be armor. So now the question is yours. Is Sam Smith too much? Or has the world simply not learned how to love someone who refuses to shrink? Drop one below if you stand with artists who choose truth over approval. 2. Colton Haynes, the perfect smile that hurt to hold. Colton Haynes was crafted for stardom. Blonde hair, ocean eyes, a jawline sculpted by the CW gods. Fans adored him. Studios protected him. He was the poster boy of teenage fantasies. And behind all that glitter, he was crumbling. Hollywood told Colton the same lie it tells every pretty boy. You can be whoever you want, as long as you're straight. For years, Colton posed with female co-stars, staged fake relationships, attended events with dates chosen by PR teams. Meanwhile, bloggers and tabloids circled him like vultures. Every smile became evidence. Every friendship with a man became rumor. He lived in constant fear of a headline that would ruin everything. When he finally came out in 2016, the internet exploded, but not with universal love. Some said he did it too late. Others claimed he waited until his career cooled. A few even accused him of profiting off trauma. No one wondered what it cost him. Panic attacks, hospital visits, addiction, rehab. Years of silence carved into his bones. Hollywood interests moved on quickly. The industry that once worshipped his face suddenly had nothing for him. Colton went from magazine covers to disappearing acts. Not because he lacked talent, but because the machine didn't know how to market an openly gay leading man. Yet he didn't vanish. He wrote Miss Memory Lane, exposing his childhood abuse, homophobic manipulation in Hollywood, trauma, alcoholism, all the things he'd been told would destroy his image. Instead, people related to him more than ever. And now the debate is yours. Did Colton Haynes wait too long to tell the truth? Or did we wait too long to make honesty safe? Comment to 2. If you believe survival isn't selfish, it's human. 3. Jussie Smollett, the scandal that split a community. Jussie Smollett wasn't just another actor. On Empire, he became one of the most visible queer black men on television, a rare mirror for people who rarely saw themselves in mainstream media. He wasn't afraid to speak truth to power, to call out racism, homophobia, police brutality. And for many, he was a voice they didn't know they needed. Then came January 2019, the night that shook Hollywood. A reported hate crime, a noose, bleach, MAGA hats, slurs. The kind of nightmare queer people fear every time they walk home alone. Politicians, celebrities, activists, ordinary fans, they all rallied behind him. For a moment, the world felt united against hate. But then, the story changed. Surveillance footage emerged. 2 Nigerian brothers came forward. Payments, rehearsals. Prosecutors claimed the attack was staged. The media turned him into a symbol, but not of courage this time, of deception, of betrayal, of everything America feared about false accusations. Jussie denied everything. To this day, he insists the attack was real. Some believe him, many don't. Families were divided. The Black community, LGBTQ+ activists, political commentators, everyone had an opinion, and it got ugly fast. The fallout was nuclear. Fox cut him from Empire. Hollywood blacklisted him. Former supporters publicly apologized for believing him. He went from icon to exile in record time. But here's the uncomfortable part. Some say the punishment was harsher because of who he is. A queer black man who dared to speak loudly long before the scandal. Others say he hurt real victims, damaged real movements, and doesn't deserve forgiveness. So now the question is yours, the kind only viewers can answer. Should Jussie Smollett ever be forgiven? Or are some mistakes too heavy for redemption? Comment just a tree if you still believe in second chances, or tell us why he lost yours. 4. Elliot Page, the transition that divided the internet. There was a time when Elliot Page was everyone's darling. The sharp-tongued, awkwardly cool teen in Juno, the brooding, morally conflicted power in Inception, and The Umbrella Academy. Hollywood celebrated him when he fit their idea of what a queer woman should be. Then came 2020. Elliot came out as transgender. It should have been a victory, a human finally shedding layers of pain. But the applause quickly turned into crossfire. Some said he betrayed lesbians. Radical feminists accused him of erasing women. Conservative pundits called it delusion. Even some LGBTQ+ allies hesitated, unsure how to process the shift. Suddenly, Elliot wasn't a role model anymore. He was a lightning rod. The backlash got uglier when the Umbrella Academy rewrote his character to transition with him. A wave of fans accused him of making the show political. Others said he was promoting an agenda. The same fans who once celebrated his vulnerability now turned on him for continuing to exist truthfully. But Elliot never asked to be a symbol. He just wanted to breathe. In interviews, he described the agony of wearing dresses at red carpet events, of smiling through dysphoria, of having suicidal thoughts at the peak of his career. His memoir, Pageboy, revealed a quiet hell, harassment, silencing, self-hatred, being praised while being erased. Now the question remains, was Elliot Page too honest for Hollywood? Or are we still too uncomfortable with queer joy when it doesn't look the way we expected? Comment that's 4. If you believe truth is louder than fear, and tell us, Did Elliot lose fans, or did we lose sight of compassion? 5. Does Kevin Spacey, the fall that shattered the stage? Kevin Spacey wasn't just a star, he was an institution. 2 Oscars, dozens of iconic roles, from American Beauty to House of Cards. He was Hollywood royalty. But in 2017, the crown crashed. When actor Anthony Rapp accused Spacey of making a sexual advance toward him at just 14, the world froze. Spacey responded, not with denial, not with clarity, but with a deflection. If I did behave then, as he describes, I owe him the sincerest apology. As a gay man. That one sentence, as a gay man, flipped a switch. Critics, fans, and LGBTQ+ voices alike exploded. Spacey wasn't just accused of assault. He was accused of weaponizing his sexuality to distract from it. He came out to avoid accountability, they said. He made queerness the scapegoat. And then, the floodgates opened. More men came forward with allegations, 20, then 30, spanning decades. The Royal Shakespeare Company, London's Old Vic, even on House of Cards. He was fired, erased from films, digitally replaced. His name, once on marquees, became a cautionary tale. But the story didn't end there. Spacey fought back legally and won some cases. Others were dropped. Some called the accusations murky. Some still support him, arguing the media crucified him without a trial. Others say, fame or not, he should never return. Now, the question isn't just about guilt, it's about redemption. Can someone accused, not convicted, ever reclaim their legacy? Or is Kevin Spacey proof that queer identity doesn't shield you from consequences? It magnifies them. Comment 5 with your truth. Does the art survive if the artist is erased? Should we ever welcome him back? 6. James Charles, the beauty icon who fell from grace. James Charles was once the face of a revolution. At just 17, he became CoverGirl's first male ambassador. A trailblazer in makeup, blending glitter with gender, and redefining what beauty looked like on YouTube. He had it all: 25 million subscribers, a cosmetics line, brand deals, viral videos. But then came the unraveling. In 2019, Tati Westbrook, his friend and mentor, posted the now infamous Bye Sister video. In 43 minutes, she accused James of betrayal, manipulation, and worse, pursuing straight men, pressuring them, crossing lines. The internet exploded. James lost over 1 million subscribers in a single day. He posted a tearful apology, then another, then a rebuttal, then silence. But the story wasn't over. More men came forward, screenshots, allegations, uncomfortable DMs. Some were underage. James denied predatory intent, saying he didn't know their ages. But to many, the damage was done. He became the poster child for beauty guru downfall. Not because he failed, but because he fell hard. In 2021, he admitted to messaging minors, saying he was reckless. YouTube demonetized his channel. Morphe pulled his products. Once idolized, now villainized. Still, some fans defend him. They say he was young, naive, learning. Others say, if he weren't famous and rich, he'd be in jail. So we ask, can someone so young and so reckless grow from the ashes? Or should James Charles be permanently canceled? Comment number 6 if you believe people can change, and tell us, where do we draw the line between mistake and manipulation? 7. Lil Nas X, the queer cowboy who set the internet on fire. When Old Town Road took over the world, Lil Nas X was the smiley, genre-bending black kid who cracked country radio and made cowboy hats cool again. But underneath the meme magic was a quiet bomb waiting to detonate. And it did. Lil Nas X came out as gay at the height of his song's success. For a moment, it felt historic. A queer black man topping the Billboard charts. Then, the backlash came galloping in. Country fans said he ruined the genre. Conservative groups called him a bad influence. Black community critics labeled him too flamboyant. But Nas didn't shrink. He doubled down, then tripled. With Montero, Call Me By Your Name, he gave the world a lap dance with the devil, slid down a stripper pole to hell, and unapologetically claimed space in a world that told him to disappear. Nike sued him. Fox News raged, churches clutched their pearls. But for every hater, there were millions of young queer fans, finally seeing themselves not in the background, but center stage. Still, the criticism didn't stop. Even within the LGBTQ+ community, some whispered, "He's doing too much. He's just trolling. Is this helping or hurting us?" But here's the truth. Lil Nas X isn't here to be polite. He's here to be loud, black, queer, and alive. So now we ask you, when someone finally makes noise for those who have been silenced for centuries, do we celebrate their volume or punish them for not whispering? Comment 7 if you think queer joy is not a crime. And if you're proud he's on our side, say it louder. 8. Ezra Miller, the star who burned too bright, too fast. Ezra Miller wasn't supposed to be the problem. They were Hollywood's indie darling, the soulful, androgynous actor who made queerness look poetic. With the perks of being a wallflower, they became Gen Z's emotional blueprint. With Fantastic Beasts and The Flash, they broke into blockbuster territory. But fame for Ezra wasn't a path, it was a collision. Between 2020 and 2022, their world unraveled fast. Arrests, assault charges, restraining orders, accusations of cult-like behavior. Headlines painted Ezra as chaotic, dangerous, out of control. Warner Brothers considered scrapping a $200 film because of their off-screen actions. Fans were torn. Was this mental illness, abuse of power, or just fame breaking another soul? Ezra identifies as non-binary, and that made things complicated. Some said the criticism was harsher because they were queer. Others felt it was a distraction, using identity as a shield against consequences. Few knew what to believe. Many didn't want to believe at all. They later apologized, claimed they were seeking help. But the silence that followed was deafening. Here's where we face a hard truth. Even within our community, we're still learning how to hold queer people accountable without tearing them down completely. Ezra might be proof of how quick we are to cancel and how slow we are to ask, what broke them in the first place? Comment 8 if you still believe people can heal, even the ones who break hardest. Or tell us, is it too late for Ezra? 9. Billy Porter, the trailblazer they couldn't tame. Billy Porter didn't just walk into the spotlight, he tore it apart and rebuilt it in sequence. When he showed up to the Oscars in a tuxedo ball gown, the world gasped, some in awe, others in disgust. For Billy, it wasn't just fashion, it was revolution. But revolutions are rarely welcome. They called him attention-seeking, over the top, a walking stereotype. On talk shows, red carpets, even within LGBTQ+ circles, people whispered, "He's too much." Some accused him of making queerness look ridiculous. Others wished he would just tone it down. What they didn't see was the trauma beneath the glamour. Billy was a black queer boy in 1980s Pittsburgh, molested at 7, bullied at school, ignored by casting directors. He was told his voice was too high, his mannerisms too gay, his talent too threatening. And yet, he stayed. He fought. He won, from Pose to the Met Gala, from HIV activism to Emmy speeches that felt like sermons. Billy has used every platform to say, "I will not shrink for you. I will not code switch for comfort. I will not apologize for being fabulous." But some fans still wonder, is Billy Porter elevating the movement or exhausting it? And maybe the better question is, why do we ask queer icons to be palatable when their magic was never meant to be quiet? Comment 9 if Billy inspires you to be bolder. If his voice feels like yours, don't whisper. Scream. 10. Caitlyn Jenner, the icon who wasn't what we hoped. In 2015, the world stood still. Bruce Jenner, Olympic champion, national hero, and reality TV patriarch, reintroduced herself as Caitlyn. The Vanity Fair cover, the Call Me Caitlyn headline. It was history in motion. For many, it was the trans moment the world needed. A woman finally becoming herself. A door kicked open, and for a while, it was glorious. Caitlyn was celebrated, given awards, elevated to symbol status. She became one of the most famous trans women in the world overnight. But fame, especially queer fame, is a double-edged sword, and the backlash came faster than the parade. Why? Because Caitlyn didn't play the part many hoped she would. She stayed conservative, spoke out against trans girls playing sports, supported politicians with anti-LGBTQ+ policies, criticized pronoun culture. Many in the trans and queer communities felt betrayed, like the one person who had the mic was speaking for the wrong side. Suddenly, she wasn't just controversial, she was despised, called a traitor, a sellout, a rich Republican who only cares about herself. Some said she set trans rights back years. Others said she was never one of us. But maybe it's not that simple, because Caitlyn also lives in a reality most of us don't understand. A woman transitioning after 60, under a microscope, carrying decades of repression, privilege, and pain. She never asked to be the perfect representative. She asked to be free. And maybe, just maybe, she's still figuring it out too. So here's the hardest question of all. Can someone be part of the community even if they disappoint it? Can identity exist without politics? Because the truth is, there are millions like Caitlyn, messy, complicated, not always on message, who still deserve dignity. And isn't that what we're all fighting for? Comment 10 if you believe even the imperfect deserve space. And if you've made it this far, you're the reason we can keep telling stories like these. You don't have to forgive them. You don't even have to like them. But if this video made you think twice about how fast we cancel queer people and how slowly we show them grace, don't leave in silence. Drop the number that shook you most, tell us if they deserve a second chance, and hit subscribe to keep these messy, human, complicated queer stories in your feed.